see me okay? And like I say, I'm just going to chat to you. Currently, this is the mirror. This is inside the parents' bedroom. The jumper had to come out, didn't it? It's just ridiculous. But how are we doing, everybody? How you good? Justin's got great legs. Thank you very much. And how can you see my legs from there? There we go. Yeah. How are we doing, everybody? What I'm gonna yes, thank you very much, Mr. Kenny Biddle. Hello. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do, because obviously Beardo was downstairs. Yeah, all right, Kev. I had to do it. The jumper had to come out. Take the piss now, why don't you? So I'm gonna, because Beardo was downstairs on the sofa, what I'm gonna do for all of you guys, first of all, is jump sit in the pram. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a tour of all the different rooms involved with the 30 East Drive. This is the parents' bedroom, and if you're into dolls, there's many of them, including ones with no eyes, which are always special. Here we go. What I love with these is there's always kind of little stories attached to some of these dolls. To be honest, most of it's probably absolute horseshit. But there are lots of dolls. There's a big doll over there in the corner. So this is the parents' bedroom. I've never really had anything in here, I've got to say. So I'm just going to give you guys a bit of a tour. There's a strange bearded man lurking in the corner.
Buy my merch.
Fucking buy my merch, absolute knob. So anyways.
What are you wearing?
Yeah. Oh, whoa, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So this is the lovely bed with the wipeable mattress. So this is the bedroom. Like I said, I've never really had much in here. Let's have a little look. Yeah, it's pretty bare. It's pretty simple, but this is for those that haven't been here before or don't know about this place. This is Diane's room. Let's turn the light on a second. This is Diane's bedroom. So she was the focus. Oh God, the people have brought more and more toys into this place. It's just nuts. It's just crazy. There we go. So I'm just going to just pan you guys around so you can see inside this room. There's not a lot to really speak of in here. Classic painting. Doll's house. This is the room I always sleep in if I'm staying over. Had a few bits and pieces in here. There's a story attached to this room where apparently duvet covers and things have been launched from the bed from this room out of the window, which is just here, apparently. I don't know how it did that, but there is a story of that happening. There's a story around people coming in here in the times when people had duvet covers and stuff left on this bed. They don't happen now for surely health and safety, I think, because it's a bit grim. But they used to have like mattresses and duvets and a duvet on this cover on this bed, and people would find it all dishevelled. So yeah, that's Diane's room. This is the staircase with. Oh look, there's a pram. Yeah, we have brought, so you can get, here you go. I will be, I know that Beardo's brought spirit levels as well, so just to give you an idea of the, I'm going to put some, I think, like I say, I'll get a spirit level out. I'll show you the actual slope and how much of a slope there is, whereabouts this pram is. Bear in it this time. But yeah, we'll leave it like that. Push it. I would love to push it. This is not the original clock that's meant to have clattered down the stairs. That's another story of this place. The story that's a clock clattered down this stairway. And this is Philip's bedroom. This is the bedroom which I really don't like, genuinely don't like, because I've had most activity in this room. I've had knocking in this room and stamping in this room and very strange things in this room. I've had scratching noises on the walls. But yeah, so I don't know what it is about this place, but very, very, very odd. But like Beardo said earlier, I took this because I had seemingly knocking on this TV cabinet. I took this apart earlier. I wanted to see if there was anything that could be a cause, or trying to debunk the knocking that I heard. There's nothing. I opened every drawer. Look, there's just crap inside it. There's nothing inside it. There's no wires. There's no nothing. So yeah. So this is Philip's bedroom. This is the nothing very interesting there. Oh look, there's bells. You see that? Some people have you believe this is a portal. It's just a boiler. So there's nothing going on there. I think that boiler's been turned off. And this is the bathroom. Oh, hang on a minute. That's the hall light. Let me just get the bathroom light on. With the... Oh, God, it stinks in here. Look at the bath. How sexy does that look? The curtains are amazing. Yeah, this is the bathroom where... There we go. Oops, I don't know if we lost that live a second there. But there we go. So, like I say, so this is the upstairs bit. This is... you know, like I said, it's not, you know, I've looked through this place. I've looked for wires. I've looked for all kinds of things in here, but I've never yet can explain some of the stuff that we've had in this area. I know, well, not like just enough issues on live. I know exactly. Well, to give you an idea, I'm running this off. This is on my phone, and hey, hello, Monica. And toilet seat left up. I don't think any of us have been to the toilet up here. Thank you very much, Weird Fox. Don't think anybody has. But yeah, this is. We seem to have most. I've had most activity upstairs, and usually when people have not been here, you know, during, you know, if it's somebody's left to go to the pub or whatever. So anyway, so this is upstairs. I'll take you for a little wander downstairs. Down the stairs, so you can have a good little look around if anybody's not been here before. There we go. Hang on a second. It's me. And there we go. A lot of crap. And then they're all having a chat outside. Show people that there's no letterbox. I will do in a second. No prints actually. So this is where Beardo did his live just a few minutes ago. The living room. Yeah, Roger. These stairs do creak. Absolutely, they creak a lot. This is the door. This is the. You know when can you see here? This is the door, and if I go pan up and down this door, you can see there is no letterbox. So, you know, people say that when there's a camera at the base of the stairs, that somehow the next door neighbour, Carol, had poked a stick through the letterbox and nudged the camera. So there's absolutely nothing at all from this door that could possibly nudge the camera whilst it's, you know, panning, whilst it's up there, whilst it's showing that particular shot. But there is a window. There we go. Go through into the kitchen. There you go. So this is the kitchen. Not really had much happen in here. There's always a few little knocks and noises and bangs inside this kitchen area sometimes. There was one time I had the piano playing. Well, a couple of notes of the piano being played, but that could be absolutely kind of natural because things cool down. There is a lot of noise. We're on a housing estate. In this kitchen, there was reports of green gunge or something like that coming from the taps. In 1969, there was like apparently a tea dispenser in here. There was a lot, you know, puddles of water, pools of water happened in 1969, which is the original case. Some of these things, you know, certain parts of this kitchen are original to the time. I've taken down the carpet. So this is the original bare floor. Let me just pan down there so you can see it. That's the original bare floor. That's a new thing. That's Lee talking outside.
I'm inside.
Oh, is he inside?
We're just doing a kit check.
There we are.
Just see what Hi. Hello.
There you go. turns. Right, there we go.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah. So there we go. Yeah. It seems to be losing kind of connection, but this is all connected to the house Wi-Fi, so there shouldn't be an issue, but there obviously is.
I think it's the further we move away.
Yeah. Okay. So we're basically using the Wi-Fi from Carol's. So the further away we move from it, the trickier it gets. Yeah. There we go. So there we go. So yeah. So this is obviously the full house. I mean, as houses go, it's small. But you'd be amazed, actually, the amount of kind of activity and stuff that's meant to be here. So I'm just going to move myself back upstairs again. There we go. Again, back into Philip's bedroom. There we are. Like I say, all very, very quiet at the minute. So people usually ask, what's the atmosphere? It's dead calm, dead quiet, just normal, chilled, relaxed. And we're just chatting away downstairs. No issues whatsoever, guys. So yeah, so this is 30 East Drive. And like I said, there's no... At the minute, it seems absolutely fine. No, nothing unexpected, nothing untowards. I don't know. There is so much. I mean, we can debunk the vast majority of this. I think I'm just going to sit myself down here and just... You can at least see me then whilst I'm talking to you. Let's have a look. 50p in the meter rather than 50p in the dickhead. Thanks very much, Weird Fox. I'm just doing this, obviously hand holding this so you can just see. Hopefully now you can see me okay. The picture quality is all right. But how are we doing, guys? Love the dolls. See, I'm not a massive fan of dolls. I think they're just dolls. I don't care what kind of weird story they come with. They're just dolls, and I don't really understand it. But you speak to some people that some of these dolls are meant to move. Again, I don't understand any of that. Are you going to lock myself in the coal shed? To be honest, I'm probably not, because I don't know if you saw it because it was buffering, but the coal shed stinks. I mean, it properly stinks because of the black mold in there. It really does reek. What's that look? Just knows ears. We don't usually say, yes, I do have ears. Thank you. The jumper strikes back. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, Denise, for being a member for 7 months. Thank you very much for saying it's a great live stream. It looks like I just thought, well, Beardo's obviously gone around and, he's been doing his hour in front of the laptop. So I thought, what do you mean, nice job with the blusher? Jesus Christ. So I thought I'd give you, like I say, a little tour. In terms of investigating, I've not yet got this spirit level out on the pram at the top of the stairs, but I will do. But to be honest, I'm not that interested in the bloody pram. I'm really, really not. There's a lot more interesting things that have occurred here than a pram falling down some stairs. Yeah, thanks, Beardo. Cheers. I can see it. I can see the comments. The moths have been at it. What's that? Kiss Beardo on the mouth. The bloody hell. Thank you very much for the 149. Please don't forget to smash the like, help the channel. Thank you so much. Yeah, please, yeah. Obviously, if you not just my channel, but obviously if obviously there's Lee from 3 Spires. He's going to be doing live streams. Please follow him. Staffordshire Paranormal. Please follow him. Don't follow Beardo. He's got enough followers. But these little channels, these smaller channels, help us. Like, subscribe, all of that. Share this around, absolutely. But yeah, I'm going to be here probably till about midnight, I think, tonight. Where'd you get that thumbnail from? The Poland egg jumper. I know. What's that? What did I call it? Prams, poltergeists, and pillocks. Thank you very much for subscribing, Sarah. It's getting through Beardo's beard. Was visited again last night for the 3rd time. It's quiet, but we're experiencing some truly weird things in that house, and I'm a skeptic. Yeah, that's the thing with this place. It should, by rights, there shouldn't be much going on in here, really. It's very small, but and the vast majority of it is completely natural. That's the thing in here. It is all natural stuff, and the vast majority of it Thanks, Bob. Vast majority of it can be explained, but it does. People do keep coming back here because there have been some really weird stuff happening. Does you look like you're on the fishing boat? Thanks very much. Sitting in front of mirrors. Bugger off, Mike's Mysteries. Jesus Christ. Thanks. Yeah. Thank you very much, Weird Fox, for posting Three Spires channel. Yeah. Follow him. Follow Staffordshire Paranormal, because between, I think Staffordshire Paranormal, I think Staffordshire Paranormal will probably go do a live after this. Lee and Beardo are going to be a bit more relaxed because obviously they're staying until tomorrow. So I think they'll be doing stuff during the day. They'll be a bit more relaxed. They'll be doing stuff during the evening as well. There was talk, if you missed it, that they might set up the cameras so when they go to sleep, basically that they can keep a camera rolling, because for whatever reason, things do tend, or noises and strange noises do tend to happen. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at some of these claims, which are just probably ridiculous. There we go. See that one? Hello, this is Nora. She's been donated. She's not very nice. She has moved. Something's moved in. House and scratched door. Please respect her. I don't know where they get these bloody stories from. Let's have a look. This is another one. These are the twins. I don't know who that's referred to. I'm guessing these two. These are the twins, Sammy and Charlotte. We are being donated as our previous owner, Gemma, doesn't know where we actually come from. We just appeared in her house. She tried to leave us when she moved, but we found our way back to her without her knowing. We think we like it better living at Theatre Drive instead of in the box in the loft. We are nice, so please take care of us. Jesus Christ. What's this other one? There's another one. Donated by Hack Paranormal. Susie was picked up along the way to go with our other dolls. She came with us tonight due to the activity we've had with her on investigations in the past. She looked so at home with all the other dolls, we decided to let her stay and also give something back to East Drive. Please look after her. Okay, so just stories then. Yeah, I'm just not down with the doll thing. I'm just quite happy just sitting here with a bunch of bloody dolls. I've never really had, like I said, I've never felt anything in this room. Never. I mean, this, like I said, this is. Some people have heard growls and hissing in this room. I've never had that. I've never felt kind of being growled at or hissed at or anything like that. But it's quite bare now. You can leave your jumper. Yeah, thank you, Kelly. Yeah, not even half decent claims of the dolls. Exactly. They're just. Somebody's left a kind of like very quick note story. It's just a bit ridiculous. Who's the soldier? I think a lot of this stuff, the things that have been bought, I think Beardo mentioned it earlier on, things have been bought in this property from kind of antique shops to make it look like autograph your jumper and auction it off. Nobody will my jumper, trust me. Any growls will be your stomach, quite possibly. I think they just bought stuff from antique places to kind of, so it's in keeping with when the original case happened in the 1960s. But nothing of any great interest, I've got to say. And again, this is Diane's room. I'm just going to sit myself down on Diane's bed. You're not going to see me, but you don't need to see me. Lovely plastic bed. And this is the view. Now, there was a time when, for those that remember the Paranormal Truth days, when I was sleeping in this bed after we'd done a stream from 8 p.m. till 5 in the morning, and then we're doing this stream for 8 hours every night for I think 5 nights. I'd get back into this bedroom, finally lay on this bed, finally get in the sleeping bag, close this door, and then the only other person in here was Dale, my mate Dale, who used to do the channel with. He would sleep in Philip's room. We'd close this door. And then, finally about 5:30, roughly, finally get to sleep. And then I'd hear marbles being thrown on this landing right in front of me. Like I said, I had the door closed. But I was so tired, I didn't give a shit, to be honest. You'd think I would go out and investigate it, be really, really kind of happy. But I was so damn tired, I didn't care. But yeah, there's been marbles thrown against these... the wooden skirting boards just out here. I've had that before here. Bit weird, very, very weird. Nice view of the pooper, absolutely, Tim. Nice view of that pink bathroom. I think this is the bed This is the bedroom where, if some of you may remember, a Griff, and there was for anybody who's followed the Ouija brothers from the very, very start, at the very beginning, when Griff sat in here, I think he was on this bed, he was sat on here with his phone, and so you might remember he got hissed at. That was before they even started doing proper investigations. He was hissed at, and he kind of went, fuck that, and ran out of the house. That was in this room. Will someone spend some time in the loft/attic space never been tried before? No, we have tried it before. So anybody who watched my podcast with Diane, Lindsay, and Jem Treadwin, we got Lindsay to go into that attic, and she went to investigate whether there was anything up in the attic, wires, anything like that. And it's very cramped, very small. And she went in there, there's nothing up there. Nothing at all. So we have actually been in the attic. I'll just show you whereabouts the attic space is, so you can kind of pan this up. There you go. It's pretty small. This is the attic space, but yeah, we have been in there before. But there's nothing at all to kind of write home about in regards to that. Check the fridge for moldy bread. Again, there we go. I like I said, I genuinely now. And I know this is, Kenny will be like rolling his eyes on this one, but I genuinely don't like this room. For what I've heard in the past, there was a time when I was sat on that bed, I heard scratching on the wall next to me. This is the outside wall here. Scratching the wallpaper. No idea what was causing it. There you go. Yeah, I would love, something to happen in here whilst I'm in here talking to you guys. If you could hear something hiss in real time, or see something happen in real time, that'd be great. Stop being afraid of critters. I know. There you go. Old 4K TV. There you go. Yeah, like I said, it's not a Beatles fan then. There you go. Yeah, this is bless them. Look, this poster has really seen better days, isn't it? Look at that bloody Osmonds. Look at those teeth, man. Look at the teeth. That's amazing. Look at little Donny Osmond. Okay. Yeah, again, infamous stairs, infamous pram. I actually don't, I was showing you this earlier. I don't think it's, it's difficult to tell without any real precision and things, but I don't think this has actually moved at all since I last showed you it. Because obviously one of the theories is that the prams may slowly move forward with, vibrations, traffic noise, or you heard the traffic earlier, traffic noise and that kind of stuff, and it may move the pram over time.
Stop lying.
But there's a different doll in there. I think the Teddy, or maybe I don't know where the original doll was. The one that Griff started to molest. We need to find the original doll, the one that made. Back to there again. It's every time I move away from the neighbours that I don't know which one of these dolls it is. I wonder if it's any of these dolls that caused the pram that had the. I don't think it's any of these. Don't think it was you. It was kind of like that, but I don't know. It's not any of those. I don't think. I don't know where the original doll is. Could you put cardboard under the wheels and draw around the wheels? You'd know then, yeah. I'd actually, if I was probably over time, if I was here for longer, I would use a tape measure very simply and just see if it actually moves at all over a significant amount of time. Good evening, Mr. Gray. How are we doing? Hello. So yeah, just giving people a bit of a wander, a bit of a tour. 30 stripes. Let's go back and see how the guys are. Oh, I just kicked that pram, by the way. Hang on, I just want to show you whereabouts it is, in case it... There it is. You can kind of see exactly where it is. You want to move it back, move it forward. You can see how far away it is from the steps. That I don't think that has moved at all. Nice bear. There we go. Let's go back down.
No, well, every time you might get a. Yeah, sometimes you might get some jazzy music. Yeah, there's a cloud off.
There we go. Yeah, I'm here. It's weird. Like I say, I'm just going to give. Do you want to say hello?
Hi.
How are you feeling, by the way? You all right in terms of what are you gonna do whilst as we go along during the evening? Do you reckon?
I mean, also I've brought some gear for debunking. You know, specifically the staircase, just to put to bed for myself once and for all. How far it slopes, if it slopes, it looks like it does. I've got a aerometer so I can check for drafts up there, because a draft can cause that Pram to come down. It's pretty much a sail on the back of it.
Just checking the legs. Checking the legs.
Little Beardo's not poking out at the bottom, is he?
No.
Let's hope not. And the Crocs.
But I've brought some old school trigger objects as well. A slinky.
Cool.
The Pram off the stage, put a slinky there, see if that goes, that'll be cool. But
I was just going to show everybody a picture of Lee.
No, man.
There he is. Look at that. Look at that. That's Joe Pritchard.
I'm wearing pants, Bean.
There he is. That's the original book. If anybody wants to read up on the original report, Colin Wilson wrote Poltergeist, and in that was like a chapter, I think, on the Black Monk of Pontefract. So there's Jean and Joe. So Jean's passed away now as well, but that's Lee. Look. Spot the difference. Spot the difference. There we go.
In my eye again just now.
Right, there we go. Yeah, I mean, like I was just saying, most of the stuff that I've had has been upstairs. Have you had anything down here, kitchen-wise, living room, or anything like that in the past?
Well, I've only been here once, and I think we sat quietly. There was a few little taps, but it most likely was the fridge.
Yeah.
But
they fixed the drip-in tap since.
yeah,
Because we had the
did
tap
have
drip
drip-in
for 2 years.
I was going to say, in terms of talking of taps, the boiler's off, isn't it, and things like that.
the boiler is off now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last time we came here.
Yeah.
I thought somebody walked in here. I didn't think paranormal. I thought it was Carol.
Yeah.
Obviously, couldn't find anything, and then I attributed it all to high EMF, which arguable at best. So
It's funny. It's like I've had little things in here, but like you say, it's kind of most of it's most likely natural. You know, things usually when you sat in here, you'll hear something in the kitchen.
Yeah, just
You know, and it's taps and things. It's either the fridge or something like that. You know, and it's usually the fridge or
It is
One of
normally
those
the
lines.
fridge, that's the main culprit.
last
Yeah.
time we were here, it did sound like someone was knocking on the ceiling above us rather than it coming from Carol's. But again, sound can carry, so anything you get in this room could possibly be coming from next door.
I did 30 minutes on my own when last time we came here, and as I walked through, there was a bang that came from sort of up that area.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was because I had a camera already upstairs, and it sounded like three people. Like Bid had a camera, Dean had a camera, and it sounded like it came more from the parents' bedroom,
yeah.
sort of around about that area there. But it could have been anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I think a lot of it in here, it's always funny. It's like you'll get nothing, and then what I find always, and I do find it really fascinating, is that there's those times when you set up a camera and you either go to bed, you go to sleep, or you leave the house completely, and it's amazing. I mean, I reckon if we left a camera rolling within 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you'd have knocks, taps, bangs coming through on the camera microphone.
yeah, but how much of that is just the house settling
Yeah.
because we've left?
Yeah.
You know, me and Lee are a bit on the chunky side.
No, but
Cheeky bastard.
but the other thing is, I've had where, and I think you had it as well, where, you know, when you leave a camera rolling overnight, it looks like something's kind of around the microphone or tapping the microphone physically.
Yeah.
We've had that. That's
Those
quite.
handles on the cabinet moving in Philip's room for me, that I knew from where I was on the bed, I couldn't have possibly kicked it.
Yeah.
And I had my head the opposite end. Just, I knew the window was closed. It hadn't done it all night, and then as soon as I'm going to sleep, something woke me up. I don't know what it was. It's only when I reviewed the footage, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Something woke me up. I've reacted to it, pressed record on my camera, so it just woke me up. And then I put my camera down, not realising I hadn't turned it off.
Yeah.
So it was recording. I think it was recording like a chunk of carpet in the corner of the door. I just put it down without aiming it or anything, and you can still hear this noise intermittently.
Yeah.
And then the downstairs camera, the one we had at the bottom of the stairs, it sounded like somebody was moving furniture around upstairs, but none of us heard that, and it was loud.
I didn't hear anything.
I think Steve Griff. I remember Steve Griff saying that they went to bed once here, and it literally sounded like somebody's moving chairs and tables down here because it was that loud and that, it was like really loud. But I think again, it was one of those things where they were so tired, they just assumed it was somebody coming up for a pee or whatever, and ignored it. And it just, and over time you go back to sleep.
That's the same thing that happened to me the last time I was here.
Yeah.
Everyone went to bed, and one person was on the sofa, and each one of the bedrooms was occupied. I was in Diane's room, and I'd literally just finished watching football highlights on my phone before I went to sleep, and I heard footsteps go across the landing, and I just put it down to Dean or Theo going to the lab.
Yeah.
Until the following morning, did you guys get up to go for a bit? No, none of us did. I thought that was interesting. Just went home, and then that's when you two ran and said, "You want to hear the fucking footage? I've got the noise that I've got on the video," and I was like, "What?" That was about the same time.
Do you remember Dean dropping his phone?
I do.
I mean, you both saying, "What was that?"
Yeah.
And Dean going, "Oh, it was me."
Yeah.
Those bangs that were going on through the night on the camera on the bottom of the stairs were louder than Dean dropping his phone directly above this.
And it was stupid o'clock in the morning, and I don't care what anybody says about Carol. She wouldn't have. It was in the house.
Yeah.
The noises were coming from.
That's the thing is, I mean, so many people say, "Oh, it's just Carol moving stuff around. She's getting up, she's walking down the stairs, or whatever."
You can tell.
I've well, like when I was saying before about how the knocking on the furniture upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
clear as day, coming directly from above us. Obviously, I'll just kind of pan round. We were all sat or stood in here in the kitchen area, and directly above us, up where this light is, that's exactly where Philip's bedroom is, directly above there. And we heard Kenny Biddle saying, "I don't care what anybody says is not a great thing to say." There you go. But when it's directly above your head, there was no kind of question about where it was coming from. For me, it wasn't like muffled. It wasn't coming from the next door neighbour. It was directly.
When it's coming from, you just know.
Yeah.
You know, don't you, whether it's coming from next door or outside.
Because you can chase sound sometimes, but then you know that the likelihood is it's outside of the area that you've got to investigate.
Yeah.
But then when it's clearly inside the place, you know it's with
It's like what you said. It's all down to the investigator.
Yeah.
You've got to call out the natural things for what they are. Some people come in and they don't do it.
No.
But there is a stigma attached to next door for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But a lot of the people just fail to understand that Philip's room, where the bulk of the noise comes from, isn't attached to Carol's house. There's nothing there.
No.
It's the outside wall, then there's two driveways, and then a neighbour that side. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm guilty of in the past, kind of thinking to myself, this place isn't haunted, and blaming next door for the majority of the sounds. But I've come here this time a lot more open-minded about it, because it's so many people have witnessed things here and stuff.
I've been in here, and the natural noises, it's really easy to dismiss the natural noise, really easy, because I mean, just up here, I've had a lot of noises coming from this coving up here and from the ceiling. It's just completely natural. That's the floorboards directly above, and it's just radiator, and it's easy to debunk, to be honest, most things.
Yeah.
But then when you've got the sound of, you tell a joke. This is one of the things we had. We tell a joke in a little group of 3 or 4 people. We laugh, and a little kid in the hallway laughs that isn't there.
Yeah.
Right.
That's impressive.
That was in front of 2 police officers as well, and that was kind of and we're only talking like from where we were in the kitchen. What's that, 6 foot away, something like that, from in the hallway, and it's and when that happened, you think, okay, well, that's clear. That wasn't Carol's grandkids laughing in their bedroom upstairs and next door. It's in the hallway, and But at that point, it was okay. That was interesting because it's like there's a child here who, I felt, I know Ken is going to hate this, but it felt like the kid was laughing because it couldn't help itself, because we were laughing and sharing a joke, and it kind of wanted to join in, or did join in because we heard it, and that was you do get it. That's the thing.
I mean, hopefully, we've come in, we've all had a laugh, haven't we, already tonight so far? So if there is such a thing, it was charging a property up. You never know.
Yeah.
Might get something tonight. I'm not even bothered if we don't get anything tonight, to be honest with you. It's
at the end of the day, we've all just been chatting amongst ourselves, laughing and joking, and there's been absolutely nothing at all.
Thing is,
and maybe that way for the next few.
To be honest with you,
but
I haven't even bothered listening out for it, because sometimes you do consciously try and go, I'm listening. I haven't even bothered.
No.
You just.
Well, you just think.
It's the house.
I mean, if you sit in silence, okay. If you sit in silence, you might pick up a couple of natural noises. Fine. But I've had it where you might hear something mid conversation. You'll hear, you'll be having a little chat, and then you'll go, "What the hell was that?" And that tends to happen more often here than anything else. But so far, actually, I'm quite comfortable, quite happy, because there's nothing particularly spooky.
No.
But also, even though I've had things happen here, I'm still going to be damn skeptical of the place, because you have to be all the time.
Just now, I just heard next door.
She was.
I thought it was your.
Yeah.
I thought it was your chair.
No, it was. I've just heard next door.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but how muffled was that? It was like you can tell what.
You can tell
comes
what
through the. There's black mortar stone walls. I grew up in a house with black mortar stone walls. You can hear things, but it's so muffled.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the stories associated with this place, which Carol will repeat, by the way, next door, is she was of the opinion that there was a well beneath this carpet, and the story is that somebody, the monk idea, where there was the whole silly story about your kid killed children, put them down the well, blah blah blah. There's no well. There is no well. There's no record. There is no record of a well.
No, I went back to. I found on just normal geographic pictures from online. We were talking about this before we even got here, and I think I got back to 1800 and something, and even back then there was no sign of any.
We had John Fraser from the SPR. He came here. We invited him over because obviously and the first thing he did is he literally spent his morning in the library, Pontefract Library, looking for research, looking for the newspaper articles, looking for the original sources, and then he went to the Working Men's Club to speak about Joe Pritchard. People who knew him, who went drinking with him. What was he like? What was his personality? Was he the kind of person that makes stuff up? That kind of thing.
Nice.
So that was the first thing he did when he didn't even come to the house until the afternoon or the evening, in fact, until he'd done that. So gives you an idea in terms of what actual kind of like people from the SPR do, which they physically go out and they kind of interview people.
Yeah, there was nothing. There was literally nothing here. It was just
field. Yeah, it's a field. Yeah.
I think one of the reports from Jean Pritchard from the apparent hauntings that were going on was puddles of water appearing here. So maybe someone put the kind of two stories together and expanded on these puddles of water appearing.
There's some of the stories were there obviously puddles of water in the kitchen. Something about a tea dispenser kind of bursting or showering stuff with tea leaves or whatever it was. There was a powder falling from about halfway. Not ceiling height, but halfway down, then just like a white powder appearing. Green gunge apparently from the taps and stuff pouring from walls. You name it, it was in here.
I know.
But that's the original story, amongst other things. And then there was the gloved hands singing, going to the tune of "Onward Christian Soldiers," whatever it was. Which I love that story.
I love it.
That's a bit of a stretch, that one.
Yeah, exactly.
To the point where the kids were laughing at what was going on. It was so kind of bizarre and happening.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's just something about the place, isn't it, that gets people coming.
That's the thing is, if you just came in now, now, like I did in the past, and I'm thinking, well, what are people getting? Because I would come here quite happily and be like, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing. It's a scam. And I did that, and I did that for days, and for investigation after investigation after investigation. Like, well, this is a scam. There's nothing here.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, there is actually might be something here.
Change your mind. And I'm waiting for that moment. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll get one. But we were here till I think we went to bed about 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And nothing happened for the duration until we got to bed, and that's when I heard the footsteps going across. But luckily, Beardo had his camera off.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was nothing, and
Yeah.
I was like, I went to bed going, oh, I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
I won't be coming back here. It's just a house. Until I heard that, and I was like, I need to find out what caused them footsteps.
Yeah.
And that's where obviously I spoke to Peter and we booked it for 2 nights. But
that's the thing, is that we had similar thing where we got nothing at all, calling out, blah 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 blah, nothing at all. And then like I said, then we had left a camera upstairs, like I was saying to you earlier, left a camera in Diane's room, and then 4:20 in the morning, I'm the only one awake, and there's all kinds of noises, taps, bangs going on upstairs, and I had to go and investigate it all. But as soon as I went up there was nothing at all.
nah. You see, well, we'll be leaving some cameras, I think, about tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah.
See, there was another knock there, but that was next door.
One's from Beardo,
That was definitely next door.
Yeah.
You can just tell.
Right, guys, I'm gonna do last couple of minutes, and then I'm assuming it'll be about 9 o'clock now. So I'm gonna stop at 9. I'm just gonna go through, and I'm just gonna, like I say, I'm gonna finish in a couple of minutes. Again, if there's anything else, like I say, if there's any last comments that people have before I finish the stream, please let me know. Anything you want to see before I disappear. But I say, after this, I think, just before I actually go upstairs and just finish the stream, are either of you going to be doing a stream this evening?
I will.
You are, Lee.
Probably in about 10-15 minutes.
Okay, cool. So everybody's watching the stream now, the 300 of you. Just check out that Lee from 3 Spires Paranormal, he's going to do his live stream from here, about 10-15 minutes, if you are so inclined and cannot get enough of this really active place. Woo! It's so active. It's crazy.
Just stand in the corner.
Yeah. It's crazy place. Yeah. So, okay. So, Pram, has it moved closer? Can you tell that? It's difficult to tell. I don't think it's moved in the slightest. Maybe it's because the bear is heavier than that little dog. There we go. Extreme close up. Link, please. Yeah, if any of my mods are watching, and if you can in the chat, if you hello watcher, Laurie and Heya. Oh, thank you very much, Weird Fox Lou. Absolutely, yeah. So if you could, if you want to click over to Lee 3 Spires Paranormal, 10-15 minutes. What's that? Just put the Pram at the back of the wall. Actually, shall I do something? Hang on. This is what so many people were saying earlier. Let me just do it, because otherwise, like, right. There you go. Now move. There you go. So many people just going, just turn it on its side. Just turn it on its side. There you go. Done. So, there you go. So that Pram ain't moving now. So go across to 3 Spires Paranormal about 10-15 minutes or so and watch them. Thank you everybody who's been watching this. Thank you so much. If you have not subscribed to Paranormal Monkey Podcast, please think about it. If you have not done it, please do think about it. I do obviously a podcast every Monday, and to do a little chit chat without guests on every other Thursday, and I'll be doing one this Thursday as well. So yeah, please go ahead and follow. That'd be really useful. Thank you so much. Hope you've enjoyed this little walk around. Hope you enjoyed the little tour and the little chat with Lee and the likes of Beardo and Staffordshire Paranormal as well. Thank you guys. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your evening. If you're going to be going over to Lee from 3 Spires in, like I said, about 10 minutes or so, make sure, and I'll probably see you over there as well. And I'm going to take this jumper off because I'm absolutely baking. Night, guys. See ya.